Oh, oh, where are you going? Hey, listen, if I'm going to take the time to teach you how to do all this stuff, then you get your butt back out in that garage. And then you smash the subscribe and like button because I'm an awesome guy and I like to give free information. So you should do me a favor. But don't be walking away. We got things to learn today and to fix. So you better go grab your tools and get out in that garage right now. Right now. What are you waiting for? Go. Jeez. Okay, today we're going to talk about how to make a puzzle with your Dodge DJ6. You're going to need some basswood or balsa wood. You can buy these. They're very thin, very light pieces of wood. Basically, I would suggest using balsa if you can find it, but you're looking for basically very, very thin. Temu has them. You can get massive amounts of these, like 60 or 70 sheets for like $10. And the puzzle, once you cut it out, and I will give you guys the layout. As you can see, this is the size of the puzzles we're doing, which is a 3x3, which is the size of the image that this prints. So once you get it on there, that would be a 3x3. That's the largest print you can do. Okay, and what you basically do is get something metal. Okay, as you can see, my engraving lines are on this. This is just a cooking pan. But basically what I do is I take my square, I put it in there, and I center it enough that I can see that the lineup is where I need it to be in it, and I'll show you guys how to do that. And basically what I do, so we'll go through this process together, is I set it in there, I set it about right there so it's kind of centered, turn this on, I choose my puzzle layout, which I'll give you guys. You guys can have that file. This is the one that I use, very simple, makes nice little puzzles, doesn't take much. I'll give you the purchase link for this, where you can get huge amounts of it, and when you're done, you should end up with something like this. Now this is one that I painted and also laser engraved on top of, and fit it all together. Looks excellent. There you go. So as you can see, it is very easy to make custom puzzles. What you're going to do is you're going to set it in there, make sure you have something that the laser can burn through. Even though it's 3 watts, it can do this if the wood is thin enough. And what you're going to do is you're going to set your laser. You're going to focus the focal point to the smallest, tiniest little dot you can. And then you're going to center your puzzle design that you've chosen. Blow it up as large as it can go. Make sure that it still fits inside the wood square. And then you're going to set your laser power to 100% and 0% speed. And you're going to run that print 3 times. Okay? So 100% power, 0% speed, repetition times 3. And what you end up with is just, as you can see through this. I can now keep this together. It's barely holding on by threads, if you guys can see that. So it's just threads, little tiny threads holding this together from the back, as you can see, right? So this I can still work with now before I break it apart. So I can paint this. I can do whatever engraving I want after I paint it, or I can do it just like this. I can set it back in there, center this piece, choose my laser engraving that I'm going to do over the top of this. Or like I said, paint it, and then laser engrave over the top of the painting. And then you end up with really unique pieces like this. Very, very cool. So let's do one together. I wanted to give you a thorough explanation before we get started. Okay, so I will run this print. Okay, and like I said, this is going to take a while. At 0% speed, it's going to take a while. Okay, set 3 hours aside for yourself. All right. You're going to do this repetition 3 times. So when it says how many times would you like to do this print, choose 3 times. Okay? And make sure that your focus point is set properly. So let's do one together. Okay? Okay guys, we're going to be using my Chromebook with the Engraver app from Android to do this, just because it's simpler and I can leave this on for hours and I don't need to dedicate my cell phone or tablet to anything specific. So we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to click on picture. And we're going to go to Facebook. I saved one There we go. As you guys can see, that is my puzzle layout. I will give this to you if you guys want it. I'm not going to crop it because it's already cropped properly. So I'm just going to hit next step. I'm going to turn on the laser engraver at this point. So that's on. We're going to bring the contrast all the way up to 80 or 90, right about there. That'll make the lines very dark, which will make the engraver want to penetrate those lines nice and deep. So that's what we want to do. So we're going to hit next step. We're going to choose, obviously, I just turned it on, so we're going to choose this one right here for the engraver. Click on that. Okay, it is connected. We're going to hit next step. I've got this as big as it'll go. I think we can actually go bigger. At 75, 75 it is. Okay, so that's 75, 75. Now let's check our position here. So this will show us exactly where it's going to be at, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be centered or anything. As long as all of it is on the piece of wood, that's all you need. Okay, we're going to stop this. It's perfect. I'm going to drop my focus paper in there to make sure that this is still focused to its best possible point that it can be. So if you guys can see that, I'm going to take the shield and put this in front of it so you can see just how small the dot really is. You guys probably can't even see the dot, but it's there. It is. Tiny little dot. I'm going to look at it with my eye. Yep, that is perfect. I still have it at its peak point, so there's no point in me pushing that any further or trying to focus it in more. I knew this was going to be a problem. The moment I dropped that paper down there, that was going to be an issue. Let me slide this little piece of wood up underneath that leg again. This pan is not exactly straight, so. All right, check my region one more time, just to make sure we're still centered, or at least on the piece of wood. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, so we're good. So that's centered, it's focused. We're going to hit next. I'm going to leave that at 100, and I'm going to take the speed and drop this all the way down to 0. I'm going to put my repetitions at 3. So we're going to do, it's going to do this design 3 times before it finally stops. And that should get you to the point where you can just see light through this, but it won't fall apart because we still want this pretty much together. You can see it almost burns all the way through, and it's perfect how it is, just like this, because when you're done, you can lightly take your knife and just carve the pieces out gently, very gently. It doesn't take much. You just put them on another piece of wood like this and then carve your pieces out. But we want it to stay sectional like this. We want it to be one piece when we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start and get ready because this is going to take like 3 hours at least. So I'm going to hit start. I'm going to turn my fan on and let that blow on the laser head because we're going to be running this laser hot for 3 hours. So we're going to let it load the progress. And there we go, getting started. Oh yeah, good amount of smoke. So, like I said, let that do 3 repetitions. When it's done, the laser will center and it will just wait in standby mode. You should be able to then take it and lightly take your blade and just cut the section out. Doesn't take much, and just push it out. Push it out of this piece because it's pretty much completely burned through at that point. Doesn't take much to get it out of there. And then you are ready to engrave your image or paint this, then engrave your image, whatever you want to do. And then when you're done with that, we just cut it out. So let's let this go. I'll see you guys when this is done. Okay guys, so I've pulled it out of the metal tray. I'm leaving the wood. I'm not cutting it out yet because I'm not going to be painting this one. So I have no reason to remove the pieces yet or the outside piece. I'm just going to leave it as is. I just got rid of my metal container now. And I just have it sitting out here. I've already chosen what I'm going to laser engrave on it, and I promise you it has a ton of detail. So let's open this up. I'm going to do a Zelda. Okay. I'm going to crop this to make sure that it fits properly. I'm going to push this all the way up in the corner with my finger, and then I'm going to drag this down. This has a lot of detail in it. Prints like this are very difficult. I suggest you start with something simpler, but for me, I want a very difficult print because I want a very high quality puzzle. So I'm going to push next. I'm going to go next step. And as you can see, I just lost a ton of detail in this. It looks kind of meshed out. A lot of the lines are too soft, so I'm going to bring the contrast up to about 60 something. And there you go, you can see. So I'll probably do about 65, 62. That's probably good. It should be able to focus on the majority of those lines now. So yeah, I might just bring it up just a tad bit more. There we go. I don't want to flash out her eyes too much, so let's do that. I want some white in there, so we have to make sure we don't go too dark in some of these areas, because it'll really focus on those black areas pretty hard. So that should be good. I don't want to do too much more outside of that, but like I said, this is going to have a lot of very detailed stuff in it. So this print has to be done very, very well. So let's go. Next step, I'm going to resize this. I'm going to drag this down just so it's smaller, and then we'll check our region. We need to get it inside of this print to the best of our ability. Okay, so let's drag this down, see where we're at. It's pretty darn close. We're just going to move this over just a little bit so we're almost right on that line. And almost right on that line. Perfect. Now we're going to check the top versus the bottom. So we need to move this up just a tad. And then we'll check our lines again here. Still riding on the edge, still riding on the edge. Edge. Perfect. That is exactly where I want it. Excellent. So now we're going to go next step. Next step, we're going to drop this to 60% power, 10% speed. We want this print to spend a little time on the focus detail points. So it's very hard to burn wood perfectly. This is going to come out okay, but it's very hard to burn wood perfectly. This print is going to take probably about an hour and 40 minutes to do. And when it's done, I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll cut out the puzzle pieces. So let's go. Start. It's going to take a minute to progress the load. And it has started. I'm going to put this in the way and then show you guys what's going on down here. We should start seeing it lay lines here pretty fast. There we go. We can see the first portions of lines being laid. And this should look pretty awesome when it's done. So I will let you guys see what this looks like in a couple hours. Okay, it's done. Just remember, I might have burned this one a little too hot, and there was a lot of detail in it, so some spots might be blacker than others, but let's have a look at how this came out. Well, it came out really good. There you go. Yeah, this came out really, really good. So before I go touching this and getting the black soot everywhere, right, what we're going to do is we're going to polyurethane spray this, and that will keep that black soot and ash from getting all over everything. But as you can see, the detailed stuff is a lot harder to capture, because when it starts getting into fine detailed stuff, it starts to make a lot of heavy black spots due to the heat buildup. If you choose stuff that's less detailed, then you don't get all that extra heat buildup. Also, turning your power down a little bit helps with that. But this print overall didn't come out that bad considering how much detail we were trying to capture. It definitely burned a little bit hot though. I probably could have turned it down slightly and still yielded fairly good results. But overall, I would say it did pretty good. It's a nice piece. So we're going to polyurethane blast this so that I don't end up wiping black soot all over the piece. And then we can cut it out and we have a puzzle. So we're going to be doing some wood polyurethane spray. This is clear because that's obviously what we want. We want it clear. We're going to spray this, which is going to give this puzzle a nice shine, and it's also going to seal it so that the black soot doesn't get all over everything. So this is a wide nozzle, so I should be able to have a fairly good spray pattern. But we want to make sure it's sealed really, really well. There we go. Like I said, once that dries, that'll keep all that soot from rubbing around and getting all over everything. But there you go. Super cool, huh? So I printed off two just to show you what one with less detail ends up looking like. So there you go. That would be Zelda with less detail. Like I said, once you get into stuff like this, where the grouping of the lines is very close together, then you end up with heavy burned marks. So the idea is to try to find stuff that's less detailed when it comes to making puzzles. And obviously painting these first makes a huge difference, but these are raw puzzles. So I wanted you guys to see these before I cut them out so you would have a good idea of what this offers. But like I said, these are raw and it's better to paint these. Like I would suggest painting them in white or colored of some kind because that alleviates all the extra black. It doesn't burn the paint the same way it'll just burn raw wood, so you don't end up with big black patchy spots. However, this is very visible and so is that. They're both good puzzles for being raw, so let's cut one out. There you go. Let me put it together. I'll show you what it looks like all put together. And there you go, all put together. Pretty cool, huh? And now, once again, we take our polyurethane and we just spray it. This will make it shine and seal the puzzle. That way you don't get black soot on anything. We're going to put a nice, good, solid coating of it on it because we want it to stay in good shape for a long period of time. And that is how you make a raw puzzle. Like I said, if you want it to look even better, paint it. Paint it white, preferably, because that is an easy to work with color. So, but there you go.